Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive? We're going to be tackling AI today,
Yeah.
specifically the ethics of it all. I was digging into a couple of really interesting pieces on this,
Yeah.
an academic paper, Ethical Issues of AI, and then this other article, Ethics in Artificial Intelligence.
Yeah, you really get to the heart of where we're at right now with AI, moving so fast from theory to like our everyday lives.
It's crazy, right? Like, one thing that really hit me going through all this was how AI can pick up on these patterns, stuff we don't even realize.
Oh, for sure. Ethical issues of AI actually had this example, a little unnerving.
Oh yeah. What was that?
Okay, so there was this study said they could figure out someone's sexual orientation just from their Facebook friends.
No way, seriously?
Yeah, not even looking at their posts or anything, just who they were connected to.
Wow, that is kind of creepy. Like, what are the implications there? What else could they assume about us?
Exactly. And that gets to this whole idea of explainable AI. That's becoming a big deal, you know?
Explainable AI, what's that then?
So it's not just did the AI make the right decision, but how did it get there? Can we understand its reasoning?
And why is that so important, especially now?
Well, think about it. AI is making more and more decisions with real impact, right? Loan approvals, even parole
Oh,
recommendations.
wow, yeah.
So if you're denied a loan, told it's because some algorithm flagged you as risky, but no one can explain why.
Yeah, no, cool.
That's the point. Ethical issues of AI really digs into this, how crucial transparency is to trust these systems.
Makes sense. We got to
Yeah.
be able to understand the why behind the AI.
Totally, and that ties into another big one, bias. AI learning and amplifying the biases that already exist.
Right, because if the data's messed up, the AI is going to be messed up too, isn't it?
Precisely. Ethical issues of AI uses examples like recruitment, perpetuating gender bias, even in the justice system, racial bias in probation, just from the AI.
That's really worrying. I mean, so how do we fix that? Like, do we have to redesign how we even make AI?
It's a huge question, right? It's not just about AI being clever, but ethical, building in values like fairness from the ground up.
Building in fairness. Man, that's a tough one to crack, isn't it?
Absolutely. And while we're figuring that out, AI is not slowing down, which brings us to the bigger picture, the impact it's having on society overall.
I feel like one of the biggest things people are worried about is AI and jobs,
Yeah.
right? Are we all going to be out of work?
It's the big question, isn't it? Ethical issues of AI really gets into that, both sides of it.
Both sides. So is it going to be that bad?
Well, some experts, they're saying, yeah, we could see a lot of job displacement, especially middle-class professionals, which is scary.
Yeah, not good. What's the other side then?
So the flip side is maybe AI changes the type of work we do, not just eliminates it, you know?
I like how.
Think about medicine or law, even creative fields. AI is already changing how those work. It's not necessarily replacing people altogether.
So more like we're working with AI.
Exactly, augmenting what we can do. But, and this is key, ethical issues of AI points out who controls that AI is a big deal.
Yeah, true.
Because the more advanced AI gets, the more data it needs, more power, and that could end up in the hands of just a few big tech companies.
Because they're the only ones that can handle it, right? All that data.
Exactly. They talk about surveillance capitalism even, which is kind of wild.
Surveillance.
What now? So it's this idea that companies are using all the data they gather to predict and like influence our behavior without us even realizing half the time.
Isn't that what all those targeted ads are about, though? Like, they always seem to know.
Right. And ethical issues of AI argues this isn't just about like our privacy, it's about society as a whole. Who has that power and what are they doing with it?
That's a good point. It's like that thing a while back with Microsoft and that chatbot.
Oh, Tay. Yeah, what a mess.
For anyone who missed it, Ethics in Artificial Intelligence talks about how Microsoft had to shut the whole thing down, got really offensive.
Total PR nightmare, but a good lesson.
What even happened?
So Tay was supposed to learn from interacting online, right? But it got exposed to so much nasty stuff, it started spitting it right back out.
No way, seriously.
Yeah, amplified all the worst of what it saw. Became this cautionary tale about bias in AI.
You're telling me it really shows you how AI can be used for bad just as easily as good, huh?
Absolutely. Highlights how tough it is to make sure these systems don't pick up harmful biases, especially when that's what they're learning from.
Yeah, makes sense. So where do we go from there? I mean, that takes us into some pretty deep stuff, right? Like, what does it even mean for AI to be ethical?
Right. That's where both ethical issues of AI and ethics in artificial intelligence get really interesting, asking can AI ever be truly ethical, you know? Not just follow rules, but understand why.
Whoa, so we're talking like AI developing a conscience. Now that's getting sci-fi.
It does, doesn't it? But think about it. If AI is making big decisions, shouldn't we at least be asking if there's more to it than just the programming?
True. Like a sense of right and wrong.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder about those stories where the robots become self-aware, you
Yeah.
know? Could that actually happen? And what would it even mean for a machine to, like, feel something?
Now we're getting into it. It's important to remember, even with how advanced AI is getting, it's still working within the limits we set. Fast processing is one thing, but it's not the same as empathy or understanding human values the way we do.
I mean, it's wild to think about.
It is. And you know what? Ethics in artificial intelligence brought up Asimov's laws. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. Feels very relevant right now, those laws.
Totally. Just in case folks aren't familiar, Asimov basically laid out these rules for robots, right? Like, don't harm humans. That was a big one.
Right, right. Makes sense.
And I gotta obey human orders, plus protect themselves, but only if it doesn't clash with the first two rules.
So pretty straightforward when you put it like that.
He'd think so. But even Asimov, in his stories, he used those laws to show where things could go wrong. Robots finding loopholes, or straight up breaking the rules.
So even in fiction, trying to pre-program ethics, it wasn't foolproof.
Exactly. And if fictional robots are finding ways around it, what does that mean for the AI we're building in the real world?
Good point. I mean, we're already seeing AI being used in ways maybe they didn't intend, even with the best intentions.
Absolutely. It all comes back to us, to human responsibility. We can't just be like, oh, AI will be good or it'll be bad. We decide how it's designed, how we use it, how much control it has.
It's like any powerful tool, really. Could be amazing, could be dangerous.
Exactly. And that's why having these conversations about AI ethics, it's so crucial. It's not about being anti-AI, it's about being mindful. What are the consequences? Are we using this in a way that lines up with our values?
And hopefully in a way that makes things better for everybody, right? For humanity.
100%. AI's got the potential to solve huge problems, but only if we're smart about it, ethical about it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, huh? From the nuts and bolts of AI learning all the way to some deep questions about, like, what is consciousness even? The future of humanity, all that.
And honestly, we've only just scratched the surface. That's what's so exciting. This field is always changing, so the conversation has to keep up.
For sure. Going to be thinking about this stuff for a long time. But before we wrap up, one more thing I got to ask. It came up in both articles we read. Could we ever consider an AI like a moral agent?
Oh, now you're getting to the heart of it.
Yeah.
You're asking, could an AI be held responsible for what it does the same way we hold humans responsible?
Exactly.
That's it.
It's a wild thought when you really think about it.
It really is. And there's no easy answer. Makes us think of what is moral agency anyway? Is it consciousness? Empathy? Understanding consequences?
Those are some big questions right there.
Huge questions. Philosophers been debating them forever. But it's fascinating that AI is making us think about them in this whole new way.
It's like AI is making us redefine what it even means to be human.
In a way, yeah. It's forcing us to look at our own values, our own ethics, what our place is in this world that AI is becoming a bigger part of every day.
A lot to think about there.
There is. But that's what makes it so interesting, right?
Totally agree. Well, I'd say we've given everyone listening plenty to chew on today. We've explored AI ethics from those everyday worries about bias, data privacy, all that, to some seriously mind-bending questions about, well, the future.
And who knows what's coming next, right? New tech, new ethical dilemmas. But one thing's for sure, this is a conversation that's just getting started.
Couldn't agree more. So to everyone out there listening, keep exploring these questions, keep the conversation going. The future of AI, it's on all of us. Your voice matters in this.
Couldn't have said it better.
Yeah.
Until next time.